Hello everyone and welcome to the Hippy Nurse. My name is Phyllis and I'm the Hippy Nurse. And how are you today? I hope you've had an awesome and amazing week this past week. So what do I want to talk about today? Today I want to introduce you to the concept of breathwork. No, please don't go away. I know breathwork is all over the place and it's so highly discussed. Workplace coaches telling you to take a deep breath so that you can go back into that toxic meeting and continue on. That's not what I'm all about. I mean, yes, that does work, and that's why employers are starting to lean into doing that sort of thing for their employees, bringing mindfulness into the office so that you can feel like you have control over your work-life balance without giving up any time at work, without lessening the anxiety at work. What they teach is wonderful for getting through a high-stress situation. It's not meant for healing the root causes of that stress. And it certainly, when done in the workplace like that, doesn't help you learn to eliminate that stress. But that's not what today's video is about. Today, I want to talk to you about using breathwork along with other tools to help actually heal those stressors and not just temporarily get through a situation. So last week I went into a video on the koshas, the Ayurvedic layers of the body. We have the physical body and the energetic body that we learned about in last week's video. And in today's video, we use that energetic body to help regulate the other koshas, the other layers of ourselves, so that we can have better emotional regulation, a calm, clear, and centered mind, become more aware of the present moment, and connect more readily to our higher self, our higher power, or the divine. For today's video, I'm going to teach you one quickie version of Breath of Fire. You'll notice that this isn't something you can just do when you're in that stressful meeting. You know, you have your own tools for that if you've got anxiety at the grocery store or you're triggered at work, where you can sit there and calmly breathe in a way that won't bring attention to yourself. If you start doing Breath of Fire in that morning meeting, you're going to have all the eyes and attention on yourself. So the Breath of Fire is something that you can do at home during your daily practice or other times. And after I teach you the Breath of Fire, I'll let you know some of its benefits and how it can help us train our bodies and minds to re-regulate ourselves when we are triggered in the store or in that work meeting. So the Breath of Fire is used quite often in what the Kundalini world calls Ego Eradicator. Now, my teachers at Yoga Farm had their own philosophy on the name Ego Eradicator, and I fully agree with them. The ego is an essential part of ourselves, and we don't want to eradicate it. We don't want to kill it off. We want to treat it like the injured child that it represents and heal it so that it becomes a good tool for us to use. So Yoga Farm renamed this Radiance Charger. And I'm not going to teach you Radiance Charger or Ego Eradicator today. So I'm just teaching you the Breath of Fire aspect of that today. Breath of Fire. Right now I want you to put your hand on your chest and your other hand on your belly. Just notice where you're breathing right now. When you're breathing naturally, what hand rises? Most of us in the Western world, we breathe in our shoulders and upper lungs, so your top hand might be moving. And if you're more into good natural breathing practices and yoga, you might find you do belly breathing a lot more, and that's where I find myself at a regular resting state. Breath of Fire, what we are doing with Breath of Fire is using our abdomen and our diaphragm as a pump. We are concentrating on the exhale, forcefully exhaling, and allowing the breath just to naturally flow back in for the inhale. We don't do anything for the inhale. And Breath of Fire is equal lengths in and out, is another aspect of it. And the purpose of it isn't so much in the speed that you breathe, but more in the rhythm. So the equal in and out timing is rather important. So when I start Breath of Fire, typically it's done in 3-minute rounds, so 3 rounds of 3 minutes each. And you're going to notice that if you're just starting out in this practice and you haven't done it before, it's a good ab workout, and that might not be doable for everyone. So I like to teach beginners in my yoga course to do 108 breaths so that you don't need a timer in front of you. And that equals about 1 minute of breathing. And another good thing to practice if you are a very beginner in this, I'm going to do 1 round of 33 breaths, which is a good starting point for you. And you can work your way up as you can tolerate it if you decide to make this into a daily practice. All right, so I start always with a nice deep cleansing in-breath, and then I release it. Then I take an inhale that's about 2/3 of the way full, and then I start my breath of fire from there. And then at the end, once I'm done with my 33 breaths, you'll notice I'm going to breathe it in, nice deep breath, and hold my breath for a moment while I'm feeling that energy that I've just worked up circulating in my closed system here. So I'm going to invite you to follow along with me and do as I do. Doing the practice, it looks like this. And you can start out slower than that if you need to and work your way up to that speed, or even some people I've seen do it faster. So I'm going to do 1 full round of 33 breaths, and you're invited to join with me during this video. And then you can go practice it on your own, doing rounds of 33 breaths, 108 breaths, or a full round of 3 minutes if that feels good to you. All right, so 1 hand on your chest, 1 hand on your belly. Okay, so nice deep cleansing breath in, and we begin. Deep breath in, hold, feel that energy moving, and release. And if you've done this with me, pause here for a moment. I invite you to keep your eyes closed if that's okay with you, and pause here just to notice. Is the energy shifted? Do you feel the energy moving in you? All right, so what is this actually good for on the physical body level? This type of breathing helps us regulate our stress. It can boost our mental power. It can help strengthen our lungs and our breathing. And as I mentioned before, it's a good ab workout. It can also help with digestion. Breath of fire can also help calm down the sympathetic nervous system, our fight and flight response. And it helps activate the parasympathetic system, rest and digest mode. If we speed up our breathing and make it more forceful, though, shouldn't that cause our body to be even more activated and stressed? Well, yeah, that can happen. And also, doing a regulated breathing practice like this on a regular basis, where we are breathing forcefully and purposely raising that energy up, and then taking a break and relaxing completely, we're training our bodies that this kind of stress isn't life-threatening. We can feel stress in our bodies and know that we can just take a few deep breaths and calm down and still be safe. We're training our bodies that it is safe to be in this fast mode and to switch back and forth between sympathetic and parasympathetic. We're training our bodies to go back and forth so that the body learns it can calm down and deregulate when it is in the high stress mode. You'll find over time doing this practice, your body's going to be able to calm down from high stress mode a lot more easily so that you can be in rest and digest more often. So over time, our bodies recognize this in real life when you're sitting there in that meeting being targeted by your boss over something. You can learn to recognize that your muscles are tense and your breathing is dysregulated. Maybe your heart is racing, but you notice there's no tiger. Your boss is not a tiger ready to pounce. You are safe. And so you'll be able to sink down into your body and regulate your body, your mind, your emotions right in that meeting without having to do breath of fire in front of your boss. I hope that this has been helpful to you. If it has, I want to tell you about my upcoming program. Sign-ups are going on right now. I'm limiting it to 15 slots. I invite you to go into my email list, and I'll link a link down below to more information on this course if you want to go check it out. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe, and the bell notification will let you know when I upload again. again, all of that. I love you guys so very much. I hope you have an awesome and amazing day. I hope you have an awesome and amazing week. And I will see you in my next video. Namaste.